Do you have problems with the pilot light in your water heater going out? I've had a ton of problems, and I have spent countless minutes or hours laying on this concrete floor, staring inside of this abyss, and using countless matches trying to get the pilot light to stay on. This is a nice water heater. Doesn't seem to be anything wrong, but for whatever reason, that pilot light has been so hard to just get to stay on. And when I figure it out, it stays on, and it's wonderful. Life is great. And then, I run our attic fan, and if the door is open in the basement, that negative air pressure moves the flame around like crazy, and it puts out the fire. And then I have to restart the pilot light on the water heater. Anyway, it can be a pain, but I'm gonna show you a couple tricks. There's especially one trick I learned that I'm gonna share with you that has made it so I can make this thing go on and stay on the first try. Like every time. We had our water heater go out this morning because we had the attic fan on, and we opened up a door down here and it turned it off. Now that I know this trick, I'm able to turn it back on, and it only takes about a minute. I am not a licensed water heaterician. Like I didn't go to school for this. I'm just a homeowner who's been a homeowner for about a year and had the wonderful experience of having to light and to relight the pilot light in this water heater. And hopefully this will save you a lot of headache. If you come down here, I am going to turn off. Right now the water heater's on. Oh. Yeah. Ah. Okay, I'm gonna turn this off because it is literally flaming hot in there, and that metal is flaming hot. But I'm gonna turn it off for the sake of education. I'm not sure if I'm doing this right, but I think I'm doing it right. So you first move it to off, and you move this position all the way down to vacation mode, and then you move this to pilot. So after you move this to pilot, and you have it on the lowest setting here on this temperature dial, you then are gonna press down this and hold down this. What that does is that lets some gas go through the pilot light pipe, and then I'm gonna reach in there and I'm gonna put in some flame, and just once the flame gets on, I'm gonna hold this down for about 1 minute, and then when I let go, it should stay on, right? But you're probably watching this video because you probably laid down and did as the water heater told you to and held down this button for a minute or 2 or 5 or 10, and it probably did not stay on. The pilot light probably went off, and you probably are as frustrated as frustrated. So the way this works, as far as I understand, see this copper wire that runs from this control? That goes in right next to where the pilot light flame is. It has this little metal head on the end. As that gets heated up for about a minute, it generates a small degree of electricity in this wire, and that comes up to the sensor in here, and if it senses that there's enough heat or electricity in this wire, then it will stay on, and it'll tell this to not turn off the gas. But if it does not sense that, then it will turn off. I've heard some people say that you can go in here, and on the little head of this copper pipe, there's a little metal head where the pilot light shoots the flame at. I've heard you can scrape that off, put in a butter knife or something, kind of scrape it off and see if there's any buildup that you can knock off. From my experience, that hasn't really helped me. I don't think that's the issue in my case. But what has made an absolute life-changing difference is learning this simple trick. And I only learned this from just trial and error, trying a bunch of different things and not wanting to pay $100 to get a mechanic out here to fix our water heater, which doesn't seem like it needs to be fixed. I just need that pilot light to stay on. And it usually stays on for quite a long time unless I run our attic fan. So the trick is, when you are holding this down for about a minute, at some point, to just bend this copper wire ever so slightly. For me, that has done the trick. Just by bending this copper wire ever so slightly, that must somehow help send some additional electrical signal to the voltage regulator thing, and to keep this pilot light from going out. And so I'm gonna try to demonstrate it right now and see if it works. Here we go. So first step is I'm gonna light the match I'm going to hold down this button while lighting the pilot light. I'm going to lay down for about 1 minute. And before I let go, I'm going to bend that copper wire ever so slightly and see if it works. So now I've got to wait for about a minute. And before I let go of my finger off the pilot light, I'm just going to bend that copper wire ever so slightly. And then I'm going to let go and see if the pilot light stays on. Okay, so I've been holding down the pilot light button for about 1 minute or so. And now what I'm going to do, before I let go of the button slowly, I'm going to bend the copper wire ever so slightly to see if that will pass an additional voltage to this like voltage regulator thingamajiggy. And let's see if it works. So I just bend it ever so slightly, just a little bit. Great. Now I'm gonna watch the flame, and as I'm watching the flame, I'm going to slowly release this and see if the pilot light stays on. Oh please, oh please, 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 please. Oh. Oh, oh, you want this feeling. You want to do what I have done. I know you do. So, next up, we are going to turn this on. So, I am going to go ahead and I'm going to turn it from pilot to on. And now I'm going to turn up the heat. Get ready for thunder. Woohoo! Now I'm turning it from to warm, in between warm and hot probably, somewhere there. Don't want it to be scalding hot. Now I'm going to put on these protector plates to reflect the heat in there. Okay. Well guys, I hope that's been helpful for you. That little trick took me forever to figure out, watching YouTube videos and just trial and error, and that's the one thing that seemed to work for me. If this video has been helpful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a good day. I hope you get that water heater fixed. We'll see you next time.